is that Mr. Ajit Wave is impacting in this field?
The grandstand over there was never filled up like the way it was filled up for Ajit sir.
How many international racing circuits we have in India?
One is our CRA Motorsports Speedway International Circuit. You can start training at the age of 6.5 to 7 years.
How many international races from India we have now?
It shows a very positive growth for the motorsport. The Kolkata team is owned by Mr. Saurav Ganguly.
How many riders CRA has built? Who is Tharun in your words?
It cannot be defined with.
Tarun Kumar is an Indian motorsport racer, India Book of Records holder, and a multipreneur behind CRA Motorsports. Today, we are going to hear from him about his journey and about this sport field of racing. Hi, Tarun.
Hi.
Who is Tarun at present in your words?
Tarun, it cannot be defined with what I am in the present. I would like to remind from where I started as a marshal on a racetrack, coming and waving flags for the drivers, racing drivers, and then into a lot of racetrack, motorsport photography, and then into event management in racetrack, and into two-wheeler tire testing, and also as a bike racer and as a trainer, and now director of multiple motorsport company. We are leading the most of the Indian motorsport projects as well as some international racing teams.
You are a racer, trainer, and a multipreneur, not an entrepreneur. You run more companies. How do you manage all these things at present?
All these companies, the vision and the mission is all the same. So whether it is CRA or it is CRA Motor Speedway, the vision is very clear that we need to build the motorsport ecosystem. So for me, I don't see it as a different companies. I see it as one single company with different hands working on it.
So you see it as a single vision with multiple routes.
Yes.
How it is interrelated?
When it comes to CRA Motor Speedway, is a venue provider for most of the racers start their career over here. So today, you name any racers who have gone globally, they have started their career from CRA Motor Speedway. So I'm proud of that. At the same time, CRA is into supporting the venue in terms of sports management and event management. So when we say CRA Motor Speedway, it's a venue with all the international safety standards, and CRA comes into play in terms of coordinating the marshals, in terms of timing equipments, in terms of operating the races in the venue. We also have a new addition from last year is the Prime Kart Zone, again a new karting arena. So CRA Motor Speedway was initially a go-kart track. For more than 10 years, the go-kart national championship was happening in CRA Motor Speedway between 2003 to 2014. Then later it shifted to Bangalore. Again, the go-kart is now back in CRA Motor Speedway as a separate entity as Prime Kart Zone.
What is the commercial model behind the CRA Motorsport?
We are both into service as well as in terms of goods. So we are also in manufacturing of go-karts. We are in manufacturing of mini GP bikes in India. 40% we are into manufacturing and research and development of automobile components. And 60% our company is more into service based in terms of sports events and motorsport events. We are more focused on motorsport activities and automobile developments.
What about this CRA Motor Speedway and Prime Kart Zone?
Whenever we develop a product, a prototype, we definitely need a testing facility to come and test the product. So whatever we develop in our R&D facility, we have an access to the track, and then we come here and test the product before we launch the product.
So far you have said about the commercial part of building something and utilizing and the testing part. What about the revenue part in all the three zones?
When the product is being launched, either it can be a leisure karting or a professional karting. The end users are again somebody who is investing into a karting track. It is not just the go-karts they buy. We also help them to design the racetrack and then we sell the products to them.
Okay.
And in terms of CRA Motor Speedway and Prime Card, it's purely a venue leasing out. So we lease out to a different teams, and then
Okay.
we generate it from that.
So anybody can utilize this Prime Card Zone and CRA
When
Motorsports
it comes
who is
to
interested.
Prime Card Zone, any public can come as a walk-in customer and they can enjoy 10 minutes of their leisure karting. And if they want to take it up as a sport, we have multiple school programs for 2-stroke, 4-stroke, and then they start their career in karting.
What is drifting and how you stepped into the drifting part?
Okay, so drifting is new to India, I would say, but there were very few drivers were doing this as a stunt shows for past 10-15 years in India. But as a sport, still drifting is not that familiarized in India, or the regulations are not being formed yet as compared to the other Asian countries or the European countries format. Couple of years back, I went abroad to do a course in drifting. So I finished a course in drifting and then came back to India. But again, unfortunately, it is not just the driver who is capable of doing. Also, the suitable infrastructure is not there in India in terms of drifting.
Okay.
It might be the venue or it might be the car, the vehicle should also be suitable for drifting.
Okay.
So I think in the last 1 year, the drift culture is slowly growing in India. And now there is a lot of options. Even in CRA Motor Speedway, we have a small drift area where people can come and do their drifting. Also, we have an academy for that. So people can now learn drifting.
You train drifting?
Yeah, we train drifting now.
Okay. So you are training for racing as well as drifting?
Yes.
So how do you manage this ecosystem to balance each and every field?
We don't directly jump into something we don't know. So first we always practice that particular department until we are being a pro in that. For example, in terms of marshalling, it took 3 years for us to understand the process, and marshals are now being trained by the FIA in terms of Formula E when happened in India. Now when MotoGP happened in India, we have given the marshals. So it's a long process. It's not just that we suddenly enter into that stream and then we try to showcase ourselves. No. So we practice for that, and then once we have that confidence that we can turn into a business model, only then we take a call on that. So otherwise it's still under a development stage.
Okay.
So in terms of timing, in terms of event management or production, there are a lot of streams directly or indirectly involved in motorsport. So what people see in the TV is just cars running around the track, but there are minimum 30 to 40 different streams which work around the circuit
40
to
to
get
50
yeah
streams.
yeah it can be a hospitality, it can be your media, it can be your production, it can be your logistics. There are different streams which operates around the circuit for a race weekend.
Okay. For one race, minimum
For one
30
race
streams has to
weekend,
be
yeah,
per
definitely.
night.
So if you ask me, like out of 30 streams, now how much we are doing is hardly around 15 to 20 different streams. Still, I have
Still you have to explore more.
10 more streams that I need to explore first.
Okay.
And then we need to set a market to it.
Now, let's step into the structure of this racing field. If a person wants to pursue a career into racing, what are the structure? How there is Indian structure built?
So first, before going deep into it, let me give a small outline of how motorsport operates. So for all the four-wheeler categories are governed by the FIA. So we call it as FIA. FIA is the governing body for all the four-wheeler disciplines in motorsport.
Okay.
And then FIM is the governing body for all the two-wheeler racing in
Can you give me the abbreviation of FIA?
Federation of International Automobile is
Okay.
FIA. And then similarly for the FIMS for the motorcycle. In India, it is FMSCI, the Federation of Motorsport Clubs of India, is the official governing body who gives the permits to the events.
My understanding, if I compare it with cricket, it is like a BCCI.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And when it comes to racing, there are different types of motorsport. Circuit racing or rally or karting. There are different kinds of motorsport. So in India, I think we have close to 18 to 20 different disciplines.
Okay.
So it is not just what we see as Formula One is a car racing.
Okay.
That's again one format of racing. It is not the only racing category in motorsport. There are a lot of other disciplines also. They also have a national level event, international event.
It is like a specializations, right?
Correct, exactly. Okay. So let's say Formula One is one of its kind. It's called the open wheels.
Okay.
Then we also have the World Endurance Championship where you see all the production production cars like BMW, Ferrari,
Okay.
they come into this racing picture.
Okay, even the normal cars we drive in roads
Yeah.
can be
Yeah,
participated
there are
in
certain
racing.
regulations that they
Okay.
need to modify to the racing standards,
Okay.
and then they have to bring it to the racetrack to do it.
Okay. You mentioned there is so many verticals in this field. MotoGP is one part of that. And you were a race official in that MotoGP, which very few people can get that eligibility. How did you enter MotoGP?
Working in MotoGP was one of my dream, and luckily in 2023 we had this MotoGP coming to India, and then the federation has shortlisted my name to work in MotoGP, and it was just a close call, just 10 days before the race weekend, and then okay, so I went there, and then it is all about taking responsibility. So I was not first initially given a designation to work on one particular role. So I went there, I started doing as usual my problem solving things. I found whatever the gap has to be filled within the next 2-3 days. I started filling it up, and then there was a huge shortage
You volunteer?
Yeah, I volunteered. Because see, when it comes to all the world championship, it is always first you need to have that passion to go and volunteer, and only then again and again you will be invited for the events.
Okay.
So MotoGP and Formula E, both on the same year I worked. So on the month of February, first I worked as a race official in Formula E World Championship in Hyderabad, which is one of the street circuits built in India.
Okay.
And then in September, I got to work in MotoGP World Championship in Budh International Circuit. So which is still one of my most memorable event, I would say. MotoGP,
You said it happened in India. How many international racing circuits we have in India?
Currently, we have 3 racing circuits in India. One is our CRA Motor Speedway International Circuit. The second is in Chennai, Madras International Circuit. And the third one is the Budh International Circuit. So all 3 circuits, when they have been constructed, they meet all the safety standards. Now the question is, these safety standards and the licensing is not a permanent for a lifetime. So as we keep evolving, a lot of safety standards also year by year on the safety point of view, even the federation keep involving. When MotoGP wanted to come to India, the circuit has been again modified for the safety standards of MotoGP, because two-wheeler racing is different from four-wheeler racing. So there were minor changes to be done on the circuit. So they did all the changes back in 2022 and 23, and then they run the MotoGP in the year of 2023. Now all these safety standards, as year on year the technology keeps developing, so the safety standards also keeps developing. So these licenses are only given for a period of 2 to 3 years. So then there might be a new technology that has to be updated to the circuit. So the circuit owners has to upgrade their level every 3 years once. And then only they get their safety standards.
There are 2 international circuits in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Which means that the South India has more interest towards racing compared to North India? Or
when it comes to circuit racing, we have more participants from South India. But there are other disciplines, as I said, rally, hill climb, desert challenge. We don't have a desert in South India. So all these desert challenge, you see people from Rajasthan, they're very strong in off-roading. So it is not just one single sport that we can define that this part of the sport is strong over here. So now I would say people from Delhi, Himalayas, everyone comes even to Coimbatore, Chennai to do a racing. Even our drivers from Coimbatore go to Himalaya, and then a lot of hill challenges happens in North India. Rallies and then some dune races happens in India.
Yes, dune races. It's quite popular now. The dune races.
Exactly.
What do you think we Indians are missing in this racing pathway system?
The major missing thing here is the right audience. So, like any other sport, we are also a developing sport in India. So, people give more importance watching cricket, where we don't get that kind of importance. Or recognition in terms of motorsport.
But I am aware that like cricket, IPL, you guys also having a IRL.
Yeah, it's called Indian Racing Festival. So there is a promoter called RPPL. So they are fighting very hard to bring this sport up. So they are trying to just do like how IPL is there in India. They're trying to build a fan base for motorsport. So for past 3 to 4 years, they are really putting all their effort and money, collaborating with a lot of celebrities,
Okay.
There are 6 different teams owned by 6 different celebrities.
Celebrities are into the sport.
Yes, yes. And then they also try to promote using them.
Okay.
And some of the celebrities are most welcomed, and then they really come for all the race weekends.
Okay.
And then they also spend time with the athletes to understand how motorsport works. For last 3 years, motorsport is growing in a right way, I would say.
Okay.
But it takes a lot of attentions and support from the people from India.
Okay.
I would request that they should also start following this particular sport, and this awareness has to be created.
As you said, 6 teams are there in IRL. What all the states involved in this? Because IPL, each and every team represents the each and every state. What about IRL?
So here they have 6 different cities, and there are a couple of more cities adding up this year.
Okay.
So currently they have Chennai Turbo Riders, and then Godspeed Kochi, Goa Aces, Delhi Demons,
Okay.
and then Kolkata. So all these teams are owned by, and also Hyderabad.
Okay.
So we also have lineup of Ahmedabad in this current year.
Oh, okay.
So
Hyderabad and
yeah,
Ahmedabad will be having two different
teams.
Okay.
So the Kolkata team is owned by Mr. Saurav Ganguly.
Ganguly is into this.
Yeah. So
Okay.
good to see a cricketer and athlete supporting another sport. And then we have John Abraham, who
Okay.
runs the Goa Aces team.
Okay.
Naga Chaitanya is running the Hyderabad team.
Okay.
And there are a lot of other celebrities also who supports this particular event.
Okay. If a person want to pursue as an entrepreneur or a racer or towards this as his career goal, what are the eligibility certifications he has to do?
See, as I said, there are different types of roles available in motorsport. Not just being a racer will not give you any kind of income. So it is an expense, I would say. So any driver, whatever they're trying to achieve at the age of less than 21 years, they have to start showcasing them to make their own career in motorsport.
Okay.
And also there are a lot of other streams where FIA is promoting disability. People with disability also can be a part of motorsport.
Paralympic motorsport in race also
there are people with disability have also done open wheels. We also have a driver from Chennai who's having a disability where he does not have legs, but still with an artificial leg he's been competing in Formula Car racing. Yeah, so I don't see disability as a problem in terms of motorsport, but there are certain criterias and category that they have to meet.
How it will be redesigned? Will the vehicle will be redesigned for their usage
in
or
certain disciplines the vehicles are being redesigned as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends on the category and the discipline what they participate.
So far, how many riders CRA has built?
Per annum, we at least certify close to 500 to 600
500 to 600 riders.
So we've been running this for last 11 years.
11 years.
We have minimum. We have been trained. We have been created more than 5,000 to 6,000 riders in a professional racing as well as riding.
This 5,000 to 6,000 riders has been trained in this Coimbatore CRA Motor Speedway alone?
No, they have been trained globally. So before COVID, before the pandemic, most of the trainings were being located in Coimbatore and between Malaysia. Now post
you have a venture in Malaysia.
We also have a venture in Malaysia.
Okay.
Now post pandemic, we have expanded our business operations in Kerala, Thrissur, and also in Bangalore. And on a seasonal basis, we also do in Bombay, Ahmedabad, just to identify the talents from different parts of India.
We have discussed about the tracks and racing models and ventures, how the people can enroll, but who all can enroll? Is there any age group criteria or physical health criteria? And the primary concern of each and every parent to let their children into the sport is that the safety part.
So first thing is motorsport is a dangerous sport. Like we always give a disclaimer to the customer. And when it comes to two-wheeler racing and four-wheeler racing, there are certain age criteria. It all depends on what type of discipline they are. So let's say in karting, you can start training at the age of 6.5 to 7 years.
Okay, from the first standard level, we can start.
And 7 years and above, you can start entering into the competition. You call it as micro category. And then once they become 10 years, they'll go into mini category.
Okay.
And then they go to junior and then to senior. So when it comes to two-wheeler racing, now the FIM has certain regulations with minimum age criteria for CC wise and the eligibility wise.
Okay.
So we have the pocket bike racing culture in other Asian countries. Unluckily, we don't have that in India.
Okay, we don't have
we don't
anything
have
also.
pocket bikes right now.
Okay.
And we also
Is that banned or
no,
we
no,
are not
no.
having
There's
it?
no promoters or organizers have not introduced that to India.
Okay.
So we had before the mini GPs running in India. Still, again, it's been paused for a couple of years now.
Okay.
Now we are looking for a new promoter to start the mini GP. Otherwise, for bike racing, it's always 13 years and above. Somebody wants to do bike racing, they can always come to a racing school, learn how to do racing, and then
Okay.
they can go for competition. So different disciplines, different minimum age. If you take Formula cars, the minimum age to drive and get a racing license for Formula car is 15 years and above.
Okay.
So until 15, all these children will be doing in karting. Once they are doing in karting, when they turn 15, they'll automatically come to saloon cars or Formula cars.
Okay. How many Formula races we do have now?
See, currently we have 5 round of championship which is happening.
Okay.
So people have to first train minimum 1 year before they go for any competition, and after that they enroll. They have to select. There are different types of Formula categories in India.
Okay.
LGB Formula 4, 1300, and then
Okay.
1600.
Okay. Even in
two-liter.
Formula,
In
we have
Formula, we
different
have four to five different classes.
Okay.
So they first all depends on the budget as also. So it starts from 6 lakhs to 10 lakhs per annum, and it
Okay.
goes up to 1 crore per annum for
From
one
6 lakh
season.
for training
For one
itself, it
season.
will be reaching
For
around-
training, I would say if you're training in a Formula LGB cars, for a year you will be spending around 5 to 6 lakhs.
Okay.
But if you are going and training on a Formula 4 car or something which is been imported, then the cost of that is going to be 30 to 40 lakhs for 1 year of training.
For 1 year of training.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if you go abroad and train, it can go up to 1 crore.
Okay. How many international races from India we have now?
In the last 3 years, the numbers are going rapidly high. It shows a very positive growth for the motorsport.
Okay.
So in the last 3 years, there are a lot of riders entering into the Asian motorsport events and then also the World Championship. Now we have Kush Maini, who is currently doing the Formula 2
Okay.
and who's also a test driver in Formula 1. So I would say it's more than 100 athletes now going abroad. And
Is that the number has increased or
if you ask me, before pandemic, it was hardly 20 to 30 people. Now
in
in the
Indian
last
population,
5
if
years,
the ratio is like
yes,
not even 0.1%.
now in 2025, I would say the
Okay.
number of international license has gone more than 100 people. It's a positive growth that we are looking forward for the upcoming years.
Okay.
And maybe in next 5-10 years, we will have more than 1,000 people representing India in different disciplines of motorsport.
Then shall we cater the sport as a top 1% of the people in the world is into this field, or how it will be?
Formula 1 and MotoGP is the top class in two different disciplines.
Okay.
They have a huge number of following, and close to 20 to 30% of their following is from India. We can anytime see an Indian athlete going to the World Championship, then the sport is going to be closely watched by our Indian people.
Okay.
Because we Indians never leave any of our people when they are representing abroad.
Okay.
So I'm just looking forward for
More numbers.
more
to come.
numbers, and then somebody is going and representing India in World Championship, then definitely our people will never leave our fellow brothers or sisters.
Okay. In Tamil Nadu, now 2 waves are going. The one is Mr. Vijay wave, second one is Mr. Ajit wave. Is that Mr. Ajit wave is impacting in this field?
Definitely, I would say. Because I was there during the last year when he was racing in Dubai. From the day one when the Dubai track was being constructed, the grandstand over there was never filled up like the way it was filled up for Ajit sir. So the moment he started racing, he is
You
given
were in the
yeah,
moment,
I was there during the event as a media journalist.
Okay.
So I was experiencing from Thursday to Sunday what is happening throughout the event. So I see people, his fans just coming from Friday to Sunday. The grandstand was completely full.
Okay.
The Dubai police, the Dubai track people does not have a clue how to manage these people safely back to home.
Okay.
So the impact what he has created for the motorsport is totally, I would say, he has just by doing this 2 racing season, he has increased.
Is that only in the fan base watching the sport or into participating the sport?
No, I see people started participating.
Okay.
It was not just a fan base, because even in Malaysia also also I was there. I see this Ajit Malaysia fan club. I started organizing events on his name. So go-kart race, Ajit fan club go-kart race. So now a lot of people started entering into that race event. So now they learn how to race. And then endurance races always have their own fan base. So he selected a particular championship which is not so easy. He is driving for 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. It's not so easy. Now because of him, all his fans started studying about racing. So that's something good. And then a lot of people, even when they come to our track, by just seeing his racing, they come to our track and then they wanted to do our training program. So the impact he has created is something as just by 2 years has increased more than 1 million people into the sport. It can be a fan, it can be the audience, or it can be a racing drivers created. Now, what he has done to the sport is something great.
Similarly, we have one more thing, but which is in a negative sign we are facing in India now, which is the impact of war. The fuel rates are getting increased. Will these fuel rates increase impacts in this motorsport? How you are going to manage it?
See, definitely it is an impact, but we already have created a lot of systems to overcome this kind of fuel crisis. It is not just the first time we are facing this kind of crisis. Even we have faced the pandemic in 2020. So we always keep forward. Of course, the races are getting delayed now in India because of this war. Certain items are being imported for the racing machines. And not just the fuel. It's also there are a lot of other factors which is affecting because of this war. We hope that all the situations will calm down and then come to a good situation. And even if you see, a couple of Formula 1 races have been cancelled because of this war.
When the races got cancelled, not this year.
Yes. So couple of rounds. They keep going forward with the other safe rounds or safe locations where they don't want to disappoint the audience also. So we are in a position to always take it in a positive way to keep running the show. So this is a small part of hustle, I would say, this fuel crisis.
It is like cutting down the external expenses and working from home.
So we also now we're very particular on reducing the resources to run the races. So we are also looking in an eco-friendly races. So in that way, we are also planning to have reducing the number of vehicles which is coming into the circuit. Also the number of people coming into the circuit. Now everything is digital world. So we are not having grandstands like before. People coming and watching. Of course, we have that audience. But today everything is online. So people can sit and watch the race from home. So we are making sure that other part of this game is going good. So we are having the live broadcast during the weekends.
Then back to Tharun Kumar. What Tharun Kumar's future plan in CRA Motor Speedway and the racing field?
So we have a 5-year plan in CRA. So we are working on it. Definitely in next 5 years, we will be having more number of riders being created, and especially we are planning to expand our business operations in multiple countries as well in terms of selling the karts, go-karts, or selling the mini GP bikes to other Asian countries and create more championships in an affordable pathway. So that's the ultimate goal of me going forward for the next 5 years. In terms of CRA Motor Speedway or Prime Card Zone, we are trying to create more number of opportunities for the children's.
Thank you, Tarun. It's a good conversation, Tarun. Thank you. Thanks for joining.